today we have a nice little flow for a quick practice that you can do before you're traveling. I'm getting ready to head out internationally, so I have a long flight ahead of me, and I thought what better than doing a little bit of yoga to maybe alleviate some of the soreness I get, some stiffness from sitting for a long duration. So we'll start with actually just sitting still. You can do these first few actually on the plane if you need some alleviation. So we'll pretend like we're sitting on the plane here. Okay, so we're just going to start with some gentle neck rolls, some neck movement. Chin drops down to chest. Sit up nice and tall. Actively pull your shoulders away from your ears. Find some rocks side to side. Taking full circles. Moving it both directions. Pausing anywhere maybe you've got a little kink you want to get out. And then sitting up nice and tall, we'll drop one shoulder over to the ear. So ear and shoulder connect, and then I want you to actively on the opposite side of your neck pull your shoulder and your ear away from each other. Taking that on both sides, inhaling up through the center. Exhale, we lean it over, opposite ear and shoulder connect, and then pulling the long side of our neck, that shoulder and ear, actively away from each other. These are great positions you can do even sitting at the desk working. We like to call it computer asana, getting rid of that tech neck a little bit. Let's come up through center. Next one, pose, we're gonna find some gentle twist here. So again, we move with our breath in yoga. So on the inhale, you'd set up nice and tall, like you're creating space between each vertebrae. And then on the exhale, just gently twist in your seat. You can hold here for a few rounds of breath. The inhale would bring you back through center, nice and tall, and then exhale, turning it over to the opposite side. Go ahead and bring it back through center. Knees can come in now. And then we're gonna move to all fours. A position many of us are familiar with, our cat-cows. We wanna get some mobility down the whole spine. So hands are below shoulders, knees below hips. Let's find our cat-cow. The inhale would drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round through the back, push through the shoulder blades. Tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Taking as many of these as you like. This is where I would kind of start my practice at home before I left in the morning. But hey, you could do this at the terminal too. Maybe you'll get a little crowd with you. And then we would tuck the toes, hips would go high, downward facing dog. Full back body opener here, gets in the hamstrings, the calves, opens up the underarm. Maybe you find a little walk the dog, pedaling the feet, getting into the calves. And then here's where the real good stuff comes. Find a three-legged down dog. Bend your knee, open the hip, getting that front right hip flexor open. You've got some options here. The gaze can come underneath your left armpit, or gaze can stay back towards the big toe and find some circles. Just getting that mobility in the hips and square it off. Step your right foot through. Our next pose would be a supported low lunge. So you can bring your hands to the top of your knees, sinking into that front left hip crease. Maybe make it a little bit more active. Arms come up, challenge the balance. But either way, this is about opening up that front left hip crease. So if you wanted a little more, you could find a crooked monkey. Left hand would come down, and you just reach around to that back left foot. Gently release. Hand comes to the inside of your right foot. We find a lizard's pose here. So you can come up in the back left leg. You can keep it down. Maybe you even come to your forearms. And so you're welcome to pause in any of these positions and hold them for a little bit longer. But for sake of showing you all of the moves on both sides, we'll go ahead and we'll rise up out of this pose, come up in the back leg, we would shift into a pigeon pose. So crossing that front shin down on the mat, come back down on the back left leg, find a little back bend here, and then walk it forward, really sinking into opening up that front right hip. So getting a lot of range of motion in our hips. Coming out of this, you come up on the hands, untuck the back toes, lift that back leg, find one more three-legged down dog on this side. And then we're gonna switch it out. So the left leg goes high this time, bending the knee, opening the hip. Gaze can come back under the back right shoulder towards the foot. Or maybe you keep your gaze centered down at the back right foot, finding some circles in the hip. Taking it both directions, then squaring off the hip, step the left foot through, low lunge, supported low lunge on the left side. Hands can come to the knee, or if you had the balance on the opposite side, maybe the arms go up. Looking for a little deeper stretch, that right hand can come down, left arm would reach back, grabbing the foot. This is a nice little quad stretch as well, getting a little twist going. And then moving into lizard's pose, left side, hand comes inside the left foot. You can lower that back foot, you can come to the forearms. Maybe you want to stay lifted in the back leg. You can explore whatever you like best. And then coming up to move into that pigeon pose, the opposite side, we lift up the back leg, cross the front shin over to the mat. We find a little back bend because we want to move the spine in all directions today. And then we walk it forward, really opening up that back left hip. Okay, a few more final poses. Come back up onto the hands. Step it back, find your three-legged down dog. Even it out. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward. We'll take a forward fold. Strong bend in the knees, connect the belly and thigh, and really let the head hang. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Find a ragdoll pose, grabbing opposite elbows. So the knees bent, make this a little bit more of a supported forward fold where we can open up this back body, ragdoll arms, giving some gravity, pulling the spine long. Release the hands, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. And then we rise, arms come all the way up overhead, releasing down behind our body, find a bind, punch your hands down, bring your gaze up, open up in the chest here. You can stay here or come with me all the way forward, fold, knees bend, belly connects, one last time. Gently release your bind, bring your hands to the mat, and take a seat because that will complete all of our travel yoga. So I hope you have safe travels and that this helps you a little bit. Pull it up anytime you need.